How's it going, everybody? Welcome to a brand new episode of Crypto Clout, the YouTube show where you subscribe for the latest in cryptocurrency news. And hot on the presses is the conversation about Cardano, smart contracts, and definitely something worth talking about. I think really appropriate for starting this video right off is definitely talking about how small the everyday person really is in the grand ocean of whales and sharks and all these different metaphors that we use definitely do come home and expose a real fundamental underlying truth. We don't matter unless you're listening to this and somehow my audience includes some high profile whales who for some reason like to listen to my voice, and if so, hello. I think that it's important to talk about the timeline that Cardano is looking forward to and the importance of smart contracts in this timeline as it equates to what we're going to be seeing in terms of regulations and getting these sort of guidelines in place and all these variables as they've been culminating together and ultimately resulting in what we're going to be seeing, and hopefully these things can get in place that have the totality of the decentralized aspects of these things functioning together, get the wheels turning. As we talk about always on this channel, is the future is decentralized, and ultimately when it comes to cryptocurrency, it's going to be the ones with the blockchain that are going to be separated, I believe, and actually have that usage and have that sort of attraction as the paradigm shift continues to commence. So of course, checking out the world debt clock, as we always love to do, hundreds of thousands of debt being racked up, and just the time it takes me to make this video, very historical things, always important to catalog these sort of events. But this world debt clock is certainly a good way to segue into our next talking point, which is how Cardano really does stand to revolutionize the system. And not only does Cardano stand to do this, I'd say that there's multiple cryptocurrencies that have this potential, but realistically I think Cardano really is in 2019 positioning themselves in a key substantial way that's got a lot of confidence surrounding it in terms of what's possible right now and what aims to be accomplished, because it's I think that realistically there's a lot of things that are unimaginable right now in terms of where a lot of people are sitting, and I think that it's going to take the sort of vision that Cardano has, and I think that they have the team that could really move it forward, leveraging that international capability that we always are talking about on here. So when we talk about Cardano, I want to talk about staking. I want to talk about the capabilities that are made possible by staking, and of course the fact that Cardano's been leveraging the capabilities of the incentive that's there, that exists from the top all the way down to the bottom. Everybody who holds Cardano requires some sort of incentive behind holding. I think that this incentivization thing is going to be a key variable that's going to mean the difference between people holding certain cryptocurrencies as opposed to others, and I think that this could ultimately culminate in being an Achilles heel that could result in seeing Ethereum lowered down in rank, in particular as it moves forward, because I'd say that it's something for the huge whales who have large amounts of these things are the ones who are realistically benefiting in these sort of systems, and I think that it's going to be the cryptocurrencies like Cardano that give the small everyday people that same capability of having that stake, having that capability of really, you know, that juicy stake. And basically I think that the bulls and this sort of thing is really they recognize that sort of thing, and I think that the market has sort of spoken for itself as far as that variable is concerned, and from a data perspective it works. So looking forward to seeing how Cardano is actually going to be taking these sort of variables and shifting in approximation to the sort of variables that we've been seeing happening thus far. So talking about the year like 2019, 2019, 2020. I think that this sort of thing is going to be on people's radar as we move from the paradigm of how people were considering that actually what was going to happen and the different expectations for 2018, especially all the developments that we see happening on a day-to-day basis. But in particular, it's just amazing to see how much the dialogue has shifted in such a short amount of time. In particular, year 2017, around this time, the conversation was completely different. So I think Cardano certainly does have a real strategic basis around it, where we could actually see a lot of really interesting things as they develop ahead. But for the most part, I'd imagine that people who are watching this content are regular people, regular folks who generally have an interest in the development of these new technologies. All that being said, I definitely appreciate every member of the audience, but enough of that. Essentially it was this video right here that brought a lot of this to my attention. I think that this guy definitely does have a real good sense of where cryptocurrency is going, and basically one of the fundamental points that he talks about is let's talk about whales for a second. Somebody who's got like $100,000 in ADA, they've got that much, and it's in cryptocurrency. Essentially, they're not going to be able to get 0.074 on every single one of those units all the way across, making up that whole portfolio that they have, their wallet. So when you talk about how this is realistically being leveraged, moving forward, I think that Cardano has been very good at incentivizing these whales to hold on to their ADA with one mechanism or another, whether it comes to staking or all these various different things that Cardano has managed to build and move forward. It's a very exciting project, I would definitely say. So now we're looking at all the different news regarding Cardano, and by AMBC Crypto one day ago, this technical analysis, interim bullish push, imminent, and interesting to see that sort of wording coming from these different news articles. And Cardano hits rock bottom, eyes trend reversal. Cardano technical analysis to see bullish breakout. So that's interesting to see the vocabulary that's put forward by a lot of these different news agencies, these different platforms, and Cardano ADA at potentially major turning point. And it's certainly seems to be in the air. A lot of people talking about where we could actually be seeing as far as how the internet and realistically it's going to be a complete and total shift in the way that people define the various different mechanisms and the rudiments, and the sky really is the limit for people who have the imagination and the know-how, that capability of that sort of data analytical perspective. And so many doors are opening that were at one point unrecognizable to people. That's definitely a very interesting symptom of the paradigm shift that we're seeing unfolding on a multitude of levels. So when we talk about Cardano, we realistically do have to talk about the lineage of cryptocurrencies and how we've been witnessing this sort of conversation as it's been developing in the public discourse over a period of time. So essentially with the Ethereum and the smart contracts, and then a sort of paying attention to where the establishment, where these whales are realistically going to align themselves. I mean, we have the Bitcoin sort of household name, that sort of variable as far as seeing these different things. But what I want to talk about as it pertains to Cardano really does have to do with the data analytical side of the developments that we've been seeing, and it's real eye-opening things. Speaking as somebody who's been paying attention to cryptocurrency for a multitude of years now, it's definitely interesting to see how Cardano certainly does have a sense of where the overall totality of how this space is going to be developing, and where we're going to be seeing the culmination of these variables really singularly focused on particular events that are happening that involve a lot of these different partnerships that are happening with Cardano, and a lot of these different developments that are made possible by the team. So when it comes to Cardano, I'm very optimistic, definitely seeing how these different things are going to happen. But all that being said, I hope that you guys have enjoyed this content. If you guys are interested, you guys can actually connect with us on Twitter, and the Twitter is the same as always. That's at CryptoTuber, and we'd definitely be happy to see any comments down below, replying to all comments, and trying to stay active in the community, and definitely interesting. So feel free to tell us what your opinion is on Cardano, and remember, this video is for entertainment, educational purposes only. Remember, I'm not your dad. This video is basically just so that I could tell my opinion regarding Cardano, and I think it's great that we have this great community that's been growing so quickly. So all that being said, I hope you guys have enjoyed this video, and I will see you guys in the next one. Have a good one.